Welcome back. The Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has given civil servants in the state the assurance that their welfare and that of the pensioners will be given priority by his government. Governor Amosun was speaking in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, at this year's edition of the Public Service Day celebration. He asked them to give their best in the discharge of their duties as he restated his administration's commitment to the payment of gratuities and allowances promptly.
To all of us, we are doing well. We will continue to do what we said we will do. But please don't let us continue to demarket our state. It is not good. To the glory of God, Ogun State, by the benevolence of the Almighty Lord and the support that our people are giving to us, and the hard work that all of us are running around to do, that is why we were able now to move from that state that nobody even wants to say which is this state, to now they know. Anybody statistics did I even say Ogun State we are outperforming maybe what the national average. It is not, no one person can do it. It is the collective effort of all of us. Indeed, people are wondering how they advise that we should not do more than 50%. You have gone to do about 80%. It's because we know that we are Ogun State and we should strive and do everything humanly possible to make our workers happy.
Let's take a look at some sports. Here's Nyota Igbe.
Welcome to Sports News. Confusion has continued to trail the rerun elections into some sports federations. Elections were ordered by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong. The elections, which were originally scheduled to hold at the National Stadium in Abuja, were delayed even as the delegates arrived at the stadium as early as 9 a.m. Some delegates rejected the rerun elections on the grounds that the election of June the 13th subsists. The champions, Rangers International FC, have been fined 5 million naira for violating the rules of the Nigerian Professional Football League. The Flying Antelopes failed to comply with the mediation proceedings between them and their former coach, Amapakabo, over a breach of contract. Rangers have been ordered to pay Amapakabo the sum of 17 million naira, representing his salaries, allowances and wrongful termination of his contract. Rangers Secretary Joseph Onwukwe has also been banned from the NPFL activities for a period of 1 year. And the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has expanded the African Nations Cup finals from 16 teams to 24 teams. The decision was reached by CAF's Executive Committee today in Rabat, Morocco. CAF says the new format will take effect from the 2019 edition built to hold in Cameroon. That expansion of the tournament could create problems for the Central African country that already is grappling with infrastructural challenges for an initial 16-team format. Morocco has been put on standby in case Cameroon pulls out. And as the pre-season heats up, training intensifies in Manchester City. Pep Guardiola has admitted Nigerian striker Kelechi Iheanacho could be on his way out within the next 10 days. Iheanacho has been the subject of transfer rumours all summer, and reports have added Tottenham Hotspurs and Leicester City into the mix to sign the 20-year-old away from the Etihad Stadium. Despite scoring 21 goals in 64 appearances across all competitions over 2 seasons in Manchester, he has been unable to earn consistent minutes with the Manchester City first 11. Leicester City has reportedly tabled a £25 million bid for the striker. And the German Bundesliga has become the first major league competition approved to use video assistant referees in the next season. The VAR experiment is still in an experimental phase under the supervision of the Law-Making International Football Association board. The Bundesliga has set up the technical and organizational requirements for the use of VARs, and all Bundesliga referees have completed 3 levels of training. And that's it on Sports News. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10 shortly.
Thanks a lot, Nyota. The United Nations says North Korea is facing severe food shortages as crop production has been hampered by a prolonged dry period. The UN is calling for urgent food imports to fill the gap, as children and the elderly would be the worst hit. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, this drought is serious because bilateral food aid to the country has dramatically fallen in recent years. The agency blames it on sanctions imposed on North Korea as punishment over its weapons development program. And the former U.S. NFL player O.J. Simpson has been granted parole after serving almost 9 years for armed robbery. Simpson has been appearing before a parole board in Nevada, and that's to determine whether or not he could be released as early as October this year. He was questioned by 4 members of the board on various topics, including lessons learned in prison, courses participated in, impacts they've had on his life, as well as integration back into society. Simpson admitted responsibility for his actions in the 2007 kidnapping and armed robbery at a Las Vegas hotel. He talked about how time in prison had caused him to think over his action, and even recommended that a course in anger management be made compulsory for every prisoner. Officials at the hearing spelt out conditions of the parole if given, and Simpson said he understood. He was allowed to bring in supporters to speak at the hearing, so his daughter Arnell Simpson and longtime friend Bruce Fromong spoke about how he's changed while in prison. And the main news again. The Federal High Court in Lagos today ordered the return of $793 million hidden in 7 banks to the federal government's Treasury single account. Also today, the National Economic Council recommended a new criteria for the disbursement of ecological funds to states. And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar today clarified his position on restructuring and insisted that the proposal is to ensure Nigeria's unity and development at the local level. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Honyato. Good night.